Ah, the good old what if game. I've done a lot of videos up until this point, and I don't think I've ever quite covered this, but I see it all the time. I don't know why I haven't gotten to it, but it's something that, is kind of a gray area, but it's also something where you got to be very careful with it, because if you go too far down this rabbit hole, you will literally never have anything that works for you. And in fact, you'll never even try anything. You'll never experiment with anything because you'll always freak yourself out. And that is the what if game. What do I mean by what if? Well, let me just get to this comment and then I'll kind of break it down more. It's nothing that's complicated. It's nothing that's going to be really mind-blowing, but I see it all the time in the comment section of YouTube and other places. And it always makes me kind of wonder, and why I want to do this video to make you aware of is, well, if that's kind of your mentality towards things, then how do you make progress, not only in trading, but really anywhere in life if you're always doing the what if game? So let's kind of break this down and I'll go through this YouTube comment. Seriously, man? Trading against direction, no apparent stops, constant averaging and adding onto your losses, praying for a pullback? Just one question. What if stock continued to up rally? What if? Well, then I move my 4 kids and my wife into a nice, or I should say under a nice bridge, find myself a nice little tin can, no, I'm just kidding. It wouldn't be. But maybe you kind of see what's the problem here. First off, and I'm not going to talk about this person's making all sorts of assumptions about what my strategy is based on a YouTube video, despite the fact that I have a YouTube video out there that makes up a warning about my live trade videos, which apparently a lot of people don't watch, but it is what it is. If you're curious about what this warning video is, I'll put a link down below just as an FYI. But do you see what's going on here with the what if game? And the what if is this, is you have a strategy. And again, this is trading I'm talking about, but this could be really anything in life. I mean, you want to experiment, you want to, try something, you want to venture out of your comfort zone in any sort of way. But in this case, strategy as it pertains to trading. And then all of a sudden, a strategy is, here, and over here you have reality. So that leaves right here what a lot of people, what needs to happen, right? We got to bridge the gap. Can this strategy actually get to some sort of reality? And what this person's doing is, well, they start filling in this box with things like this. And each one of these dots equals, what if, which is fine, because you should, kind of run an audit on, want to make, pros and cons, all that sort of stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But then the problem here is that they're taking huge negatives that are not likely. So negatives, again, pros and cons, but it branches down to not likely. Now, sure, can one of these huge negatives happen? Yeah, it can happen. So you need to factor that into any sort of situation. However, you can make any strategy look stupid, look like it's not possible in reality if you just take enough what ifs. Here's an example. I want to invest for retirement. I'm going to put my, I want to buy some stocks, and I just want to, long and strong, buy and hold, right? Buy and hold. That's nothing new. It's been around for years. It's made many people millions of dollars. The trade-off being, well, yeah, you got to wait like decades and decades for math and compounding interest and all that. But what if you would have bought this stock called Enron? Well, yeah, in that case, it would be kind of rough. Things just not so good, right? But how often does a massive scam, no, I'm not talking about penny stocks here, but on a big board stock, how often do massive scams happen? That's not likely. And hopefully you're saying, well, yeah, Clay, that's not likely to happen, but also when you buy and hold, you should be diversifying anyway, so that if this does happen, sure, it hurts, but it's not like the entire strategy is wiped away. But, well, what if? Well, yeah, what if? So I'm not saying the what if game is wrong, but you also need to understand and factor into your strategies just ways around the what if, in the negative side, means if it happens. For me, and I've talked about this many times before, once again, I'll put a link down below. What if a stock keeps going against me or doesn't quite work out? Well, then, yeah, I do take losses that are bigger than wins. And like I said, I'll just leave it at that. But for me, a huge, massive, not likely, what if, I'm okay. The strategy can absorb it and account for it. So, but at the core, what I want you to be aware of, and what a lot of people, kind of do to me, but I wonder, are they doing it themselves, is they try to make what I'm doing, even though it's based on assumptions, look stupid by throwing in words like, well, something could have happened. This could also be called, the could have. But what if? They're throwing out all these hypotheticals that sure could happen. I mean, what if you are trying to cross the street, you look both ways, you start walking, and then you slip on an acorn, fall on the ground, hurt your leg, and then you get run over by a semi because the semi driver was, checking his Instagram while he was driving and didn't see you laying in the road, with your leg. What if that were... Do you see where I'm going with this? So you got to be very, very careful, because at the end of the day, and this is, I mentioned gray, and this is where the gray comes into play. Sometimes what ifs and they're negative actually do hold a lot of water. Well, I'm going to do my strategy. And what happens is I said, well, what if you didn't use a stop loss? Well, that's going to make any strategy look bad. And that's a bad what if, is what if I didn't use a stop loss? That's not good. But and that's not too negative. That's not like, something that's going to be unlikely to happen. It is very likely that you will be wrong in trades. So you need to have some sort of risk mitigation in there. So what if I am wrong, and what if I am not using a stop loss? That's going to be bad. That would be really bad. So, keep in mind there is gray area, but if you find yourself always jumping to extremely unlikely situations, then yeah, any strategy is not going to make any sense, and you're pretty much just going to be stuck in this stage with your wheels spinning in the mud, because you're never going to get out there and try anything. So it's a fine line, but hopefully now this video has helped you be well aware of this line as you try to put together strategies, or again, just really, try to step out of your comfort zone in any way in life. If you are out there trading alone currently and maybe are in the market looking for a community to join to assist you in your trading, or to just help you, give you another set of eyeballs, then I do have a private trading community where you can trade alongside me and other experienced traders. So what you see popping up on the screen right now is both an information link. So if you click on the inner circle one, that is going to take you to the page where I explain all the details of what exactly come with the community, both the chat room and the newsletter. And then the other image that has popped up is a behind the scenes tour where you can see exactly what is going to be contained within the community. I take you through, like I said, a behind the scenes tour of everything, and that way you'll know precisely what you are getting when you join. So definitely check that stuff out if you are interested and thinking about wanting to join a community, and let me know if you have any questions.